Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. And also thank you to Dr. Ranga, who is donated his time to teach us what he's found with us, with what he's been using because he does dark field. So I'm going to start with asking Dr. Ranga to introduce himself, and I'll then ask a question, if I may. So thank you
Okay,
again. Handing it over to you, Dr. Ranga.
okay. Well, I'm originally from Sri Lanka, and I left Sri Lanka in 1978 to go to US to do my studies. So I did a bachelor's degree, master's, and PhD in food and nutritional science, specializing in biotechnology, biochemistry, and microbiology. So last 3 years, I was working as a research scientist in University of Wisconsin, place called Food Research Institute. And I work with bacterial nutrition and developing media for certain pathogens. So after that, came here to Australia. I've been here 33 years, and I'm running the health food store, World of Health, and practice return to wellness. So main focus is to look at chronic degenerative diseases, just look beyond the cause, the causes, and go beyond that cause to find out what is the original causes and try to resolve the problems. So um, dark field microscopy I have used in my own research for my master's degree. So this wasn't new to me when I came here. And we started looking at blood, which normal microbiology, we don't look at blood using dark field microscopy. So when I came here, used that, and we can see quite amazing things happen in the blood. And I could find certain molecules, if they are very small molecules like molecular oxygen or molecular hydrogen, it works very fast in reducing oxidative stress. So oxidative stress is when there are toxic chemicals that come into the blood through skin, through air, through food, and cause damage to the blood, to the body, to the organs. But the blood is the first point of interaction. When these chemicals comes through the lungs or whatever route, once it enters the blood, it will cause damage to the red cell membrane. The red cells have a high negative charge, so that's why they repel each other. But when oxidative chemicals come in and pull out electrons, they acquire positive and negative charge, so they start to clump. So red cell aggregation is, I can show you some pictures later, can cause this kind of free radical damage, can cause oxidative stress. That means if the reds are clumping, few things happen. Nutrients cannot enter the cell membrane, especially oxygen, iron, B12, folic acid, and this causes the blood to be malnourished. So if the blood is malnourished, then all our organs are not going to get the nutrients. So um, if they have high level of oxidative stress, can cause stroke. So this, when you do dark field microscopy screening, how good is your blood, how bad is oxidative stress level, and how can we reverse it. So that's what I've been doing. And with generally I've been using two formulas. One is a molecular oxygen formula and other one is a hydrogen formula. But recently, when Louise came with her granddaughter and daughter, I was going, the blood was very, very highly damaged. So they said, let me use molecular oxygen. Then I said, no, let's try Ningxia, right? Because it says that, it is a very good antioxidant. So we said, okay. So I didn't quite believe it at first because I hadn't really studied Ningxia red and its constituents. So she took one sachet, and after we gave it about 10 minutes and looked at the blood, and absolutely back to normal. It was quite amazing. And so after that, I had about at least 5 people that I tested with the Ningxia red, and every time it's the same result. Very, very powerful change in the blood. So that's basically what I've been doing. So if you have any questions, we can go over those.
So you actually are seeing Rouleau before,
Mm, yeah,
and once that charge moves, it becomes a super highway rather than a traffic jam.
exactly. Yeah. Sometimes it's complex ruler, it's almost like a sludge, the
Yeah,
blood.
yeah.
So
So that would relate to a possible heart complaint
no,
over long term.
yeah, definitely. Because if the blood, sometimes, as you know, for a red cell to flow through a small capillary, it has to bend and squeeze. So when you have large clumps, it can all, at some point, it can cause rupture. So strokes, mini strokes, people have, they don't even know they had it.
Yeah.
So this is, so when the blood is pumped like a rouleau formation or complex rouleau, the heart still has to pump, will pump, and it will push through. But when it comes to a weak area, that can cause rupture. So I've seen many athletes, like top elite athletes, who perform really well in the field. But when you look at the blood, it's terrible. So that means they can still do it, but they're at a risk of a really serious condition.
Have you noticed any difference with people that have come in to see you that have had that upsetting thing that went into people's arms, and
Yeah.
you've tried the Ningxia on? Have you actually tested someone that's been in that situation and used the?
I've tested hundreds of people with that issue. Because we've been using a combination of protocols. So Ning's Jared and Mineral Essence became part of that protocol. Before that, I was using a different number of supplements. So we can combine different things because people have, before that issue, people could have heavy metal toxicity or environmental toxicity or allergies, infections, chronic conditions that um, cause that damage anyway. Is on top of that, when you have something else coming in, foreign thing, that can cause different type of damage. So we see different type of red cell damage, different to heavy metal oxidation.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's a yeah. This been already published in journals showing electron microscopy of red cell membrane exposed to these foreign proteins that can be. So I've seen that in blood, many, probably hundreds of people. Almost everybody is exposed to these proteins now.
So it doesn't seem to be at, I mean, it seems to be pretty a blanket, it seems to be a blanket situation, and it doesn't have any effect on people, or still has the same effect on people that have had that have different gene issues and different allergy reactions, and it seems
Yeah,
to be all happens very much the same with each person once they're taking that Ningxia.
yeah. So any kind of, what I have seen is, no matter what kind of cause that caused the damage to the blood, when you take the Ningxia red or the mineral essence, it immediately disperses the blood. So that means it's donating electrons very quickly within 10 minutes, and the blood gets reverted back to its normal state.
Hmm. Yeah, pretty incredible.
I mean,
So,
of course, Ningxia red has other benefits other than that, with the berry, so many other benefits. So
so what's the difference between the blood tests that they're doing at the hospitals and the doctor's surgeries and the dark field microscopy?
So we need both because normal pathology tests, when you test, it's more quantitative. We were looking at number of white blood cells, how is the kidney function, is kidney filtration rate, liver function. All of these are more quantitative tests. So we cannot see how the blood behaves in its natural state because with the dark field microscopy, we put a droplet of blood between the slide and a cover slip through planes of glass, and it can still move, and we can see the cells flowing, white blood cells moving and doing their job, even it's outside the body, even for up to half an hour, sometimes 40 minutes, it's still active. So that's the difference. You can see more of a quality of the cells compared to a quantity. We can do quantitative as well. You can count the number of cells, but this is more useful in looking at the quality of the like cell membrane function, cell membrane strength, because you can see if the cell membrane is weak. If you don't have enough essential fatty acids like EPA, DHA, then cell membrane is not reflecting light. So you see it called ghost cells,
Mhm.
weak cells. So there are many. Then also you can see oxidation of the hemoglobin. When that happens, they're called target cells. The oxygen cannot bind and iron cannot bind to the red cell. So you were mentioning about the glucose. Glycation is a big problem if you have high levels of glucose floating in the blood. Then if the insulin is not clearing it quickly, glucose can bind to the red cell hemoglobin. That's why when you test for HbA1c, that's the glycated hemoglobin, how much glucose is attaching to the red cell hemoglobin. So that can cause glycation is a big problem because there's a chemical group called advanced glycation end products, which is what causes cataracts and all these even sclerosis, many type of hardening because the glucose binding to proteins. It's like when you toast a piece of bread, you get see the browning reaction, you see the crusting, and the same thing happens in the eye, in the arteries when you have too much glucose reacting with proteins, amino acids. At the same time, if you have heavy metals, that act as a catalyst to increase that oxidative stress. So keeping the blood in good condition is very important, and that's the use of dark field microscopy. We can screen within 10 minutes what kind of blood is it. Can we change it within 10 minutes? And the thing is that you can change it, but then you had to change your lifestyle, change the things, the causes that brought that oxidative stress. So you need to do a detoxification or maintenance to maintain your red cell health, blood health.
We are certainly a complex, amazing, beautiful system, the way our bodies work. And
No.
we seem to spend our lives trying to cause it trouble, but we don't realize we're actually doing it. And unfortunately, so um, have you had uh, there's another I mean we've there's a lot of information about spearmint oil,
Mm.
so balancing the blood sugar levels.
Mhm.
I don't know if you've experienced that as yet.
No, I was planning to, do that because if I'm going to get some continuous glucose monitors, and if somebody has that, then we can monitor very easily,
Yeah, yeah.
as you
'Cause
mentioned.
if people have been diagnosed with type 2, they can
Yeah,
get it for $15, but if you pay the normal price, it's about $125.
that's
But
right. Yeah.
anybody seems to be a possible type 2 diabetic
Mhm.
in our modern society.
Okay. A lot of insulin resistance. That's one of the things I screen because when I test, I use the acupuncture meridians. We can challenge those tests and see when we look at the pancreas point, if it is up or down, going beyond the normal range, then we know there's potential insulin resistance. And then more, so many people, it's becoming like a epidemic. Almost everybody, because the diet is so poor,
Yeah.
eating so many refined carbohydrates, seed oils, and all these things.
Yeah, well, that's another interesting subject. The seed oils. I bet you would see a lot of rouleau in people just purely
Oh,
because
yeah.
they've had a feed of sunflower or canola or
Mm,
peanut oil or
yeah.
bean oil or something in
Yeah,
their
when
lunch.
when somebody comes and if I see the blood like that, I ask what did they have for lunch or breakfast, and most of the time it'll be something which is either a Chinese takeaway or something that has been fried. Um, I once never forget this. One guy came, his blood looked like when you look at the blood, you'll see the background looks like a white sheet, and
Is
he
that
had
the
had
fibrin?
yeah, no, it's just like all the fat.
Ah,
It's like snow. He had had a burger, McDonald's burger, shake and fries, So that was all those oils. It's just the blood was like a stagnant pool. So
Yeah,
that increases the viscosity so much that that itself can cause a stroke.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And so many people are doing it. It is an epidemic, and glycosis is possibly one of the biggest issues that we have in our modern day.
Mm.
So if somebody was going to take something in there as a daily supplement, what would you recommend for the average person as a standard thing that they should be doing all the time?
One of the things that well, because of the level of heavy metal exposure, I always recommend lipoic acid, alpha lipoic acid, which is a excellent antioxidant. It binds to heavy metals, so that's like the removing the cause. Say if the blood is really oxidized and you take Ningxia red, suppose you're taking it regularly, you can keep the blood in good condition. But if the heavy metals are still coming, you need to have something that will bind to the heavy metals and clear it. You need to remove the cause. So I always include lipoic acid, some form of lipoic acid formula with the Ningxia red mineral essence, the fish oils. Those are the kind of core things that I would recommend.
Yes, yeah. So is I will I know that people there's probably a couple here that are itching to ask a question.
Mhm.
So is that time that we should just open up to see who wants to ask a question to Dr. Ranga? It's we're on time, which is good.
There
So
are a few questions there, Alan. So maybe people can mute themselves, or you could read out the questions, perhaps, whatever's easier, or whatever you want to
okay.
do.
You can get CGR from $15. Okay, that was Jenny's said that you can get a CGM, which is a constant glucose monitor,
Mhm.
for $15 now. Don't need to be a diabetic. I got one a few months ago. Really?
That's really good
That's
if you can get it. But you had
interesting.
to pay a monthly fee.
Yeah, well,
Sometimes you had to pay.
it only lasts 2 weeks, which is a
That's right. Yeah.
disappointing. And I've done it twice, and I have absolutely noticed incredible differences in whatever goes in the mouth instantly gets shown on that app. It really scares you, especially when you're having carbohydrates. And I noticed when I had Ningxia Red, it does absolutely nothing to the glucose.
Oh,
Doesn't
that's
spike
excellent. That's
at
really good to
all.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I could drink that anytime I wanted to, and it never put the insulin up. Um, this one said, Rana says, I got a blood glucose checker. I'll be a guinea pig.
Hmm.
Okay. Do we get to see the blood examples? Okay, Bernadette. Yeah, did you have any?
Yeah,
Um,
I can show afterwards, after the questions, and I can go.
okay, anyone else? And then Dr. Engel will show us the some blood slides. Would Red Seed of Bliss work instead of the other supplements Dr. Ranger just mentioned for heavy metals?
Yeah, I don't know much about the Red Sea, that form, that structure of it or what function, so I cannot say whether
Yeah.
it's
Well, Red
possible or not.
Seed of Bliss was
Yeah.
made specifically for the spike protein and for the people that have had that
Mm.
that dart, unfortunately. And yeah, it has that's another subject for another day because yes, we would love to get some reports on that. Yvonne said, "Are we able to get the recording for our US people?" Yes, you can. I will have it. It'll be on the Fun Team page as a YouTube clip. Another one.
Alan, Kerry Lockwood had a question earlier on, so you might have to
Oh,
scroll up.
okay. Let me go back to the. Yeah, okay. Here
Yeah,
we go.
go up a bit.
Beginning. Good evening. And it's the essential oils in Ningxia that improve the blood, not the fruit. Well, yeah, Uh, it is probably a bit of both, but Dr. Anger explained that before about the electrons in the essential oils and how fast they actually get absorbed. 20 seconds they're in the body, and it can certainly stimulate that NRF2 pathway. via the redox signaling to the nucleus of the cell, which is creating your antioxidants like superoxide dismutase, which is what Nixia Red creates, and also glutathione.
Those are the short-term and long-term benefits. Short-term, you get the essential oils donating electrons to get the blood back to normal. Then the wolfberry, the Nixia fruit, the ingredients, actually constituents that stimulate the NRF2 pathway. There's the longer-term benefits by increasing the antioxidant enzymes like glutathione, peroxidase, reductase, superoxide dismutase, catalase, and all those enzymes, and glutathione itself as an antioxidant. One of the questions I saw was that Nixia Red mineral essence and fish oil and the lipoic acid. That's what I said, the fourth one. There was a question I saw.
So
as for lipoic acid.
Where would they get the lipoic acid from, the average person?
You can get it from, there are retail products. Herbs of Gold has one that's 300 milligrams. I usually recommend the one called BioClinic that has a really good quality lipoic acid. Metagenics, they have practitioner ones have. So
this one said, how long does it stay in that state, the blood? So how frequently should we take Nixia, do you think? Or is that dependent on initial presentation of the blood?
Yeah, so what happens is initially, no matter how bad the blood is aggregated, when you take the Nixia Red or mineral essence, after 10 minutes, you see red cells back to normal. But we had to look at what was the original cause that caused that oxidative damage. So that cause would be heavy metals, could be other chemicals. So while we are doing that, we need to also support the detoxification system, the liver, and get rid of those toxic chemicals. So that's why I combine the blood test with my other testing to see what are the causes. You do the blood, you see oxidative stress, what caused it. We use the system called BERT, bioenergetic response and resonance test, where we send a signal through the acupuncture meridian, we get a response back, and we can find out what are the causes, which organs are the most affected. So because when toxic chemicals come in, after the blood goes through the liver, if it cannot detoxify quickly, the body puts these chemicals into storage, connective tissue, fatty tissue, and bone tissue, and keeps migrating. As we get older, it goes deeper into the tissue. So once we identify those storage sites, we can detoxify quite easily. It usually takes 3 to 6 weeks to get rid of it. So in the meantime, you need to take something regular. Like if you take Nixia Red every day, that means it's maintaining the blood in its optimal condition while we are doing the detoxification.
Great advice. Absolutely.
Mary Kate has asked a question about the dosage, the amount of mineral essence and Nixia Red. I think Rona asked a similar question. So just from my experience speaking with Dr. Ranga's patients, because I've been helping them on board with all this, basically some of them have been taking 60 mils twice a day, but then they drop back to 60 mils once a day, just the required dose and the mineral essence. But I don't know if Dr. Ranga's seen anything different, but that's just what I've spoken with his patients about.
Yeah, it depends on the level of damage at starting. If somebody has really high oxidative stress, I would recommend maybe mineral essence and Nixia Red and maybe twice a day. And then slowly, as things get better, we reduce it.
All right. Or in my case, I could quite often drink all of that in 2 days.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting people to do that, but I just can't help myself. So I just do it, and I love it. And I might have 4 or 5 of those frozen ones and cut the top off and suck them as ice blocks every day. I never, ever stop. And it certainly is good for the eyesight because I still don't wear glasses at 65. Okay, I've read different information that Nixia is high in potassium. How is it so high? How much can you take each day? Oh, yeah.
I don't think the potassium level is that high that it'll cause any toxicity. You can, because I haven't looked at the composition to see what is the potassium level. Usually it's not that high. I mean, when you say somebody says high, it's like people say banana is high in potassium, but then if you, it's relative when you compare to other things. So, like, so that's not, I don't think that normally when you take a supplement, you take about 100 micrograms of potassium per day. That's the normal supplement dosage. So foods
Yeah,
have small amounts. Yeah.
I think it probably gets down to more than what you can afford at the time, because
Yeah.
it's certainly, I know people that drink a bottle of Coke every day. That's certainly damaging, of course, but they still seem to keep doing it. So Ningxia Red, if you did overdose on it, it's much, much better to overdose on that than it would be on a bottle of Coke every day or 4 coffees every day. Just putting it into perspective.
Hey, Sula, do you have had some good questions to ask Dr. Ranga?
Yeah, I've got a few. So I just want to understand the scientific mechanism because I don't have a science background, as to what exactly is causing, what exactly is donating electrons to the red cell membrane to cause them to disperse. Is it the antioxidants or is it the essential oils? And if it's the antioxidants that are donating electrons to the red cell membrane, then that means that any food or drink high in antioxidants could do that, independent of whether or not they had essential oils. So I'm just like really confused about,
Okay.
is it essential oils that is, yeah, I don't understand the relationship between essential oils and antioxidants.
Okay. So antioxidants, there are two types of antioxidants. There are general antioxidants and selective antioxidants. So when I used molecular hydrogen, it's a selective antioxidant. That means the hydrogen molecule can donate electrons. So it's a very powerful antioxidant, one of the most powerful antioxidants. And essential oils have antioxidant function. So that means they have the ability to donate an electron or two, I don't know, depending on the molecule. So when they donate an electron to somewhere that's been oxidized, that means the electron has been missing. So it's restoring its normal function back. So essential oils in Ningxia are themselves antioxidants. They have antioxidant function. So there are other things that are antioxidants, like hydrogen, lipoic acid is an antioxidant. There are many antioxidants, but depends on the size. Essential oils are very, very small size. So the smaller the size, faster the absorption gets into the blood. Like molecular hydrogen is a one atom. So that's the smallest size. So it can diffuse into the blood within 5 minutes. Other things can take a little bit longer. So things like vitamin C has a very low antioxidant function. It has other functions like structural functions, but it will donate only maybe 1 or 2 electrons. It depends on the molecule.
Oh, so I get it now. So because the essential oils in Ningxia are the citrus oils, and the citrus oils produce glutathione, which is the master antioxidant. That's what you mean when you say essential oils have antioxidant functions, because the citrus oils produce glutathione and then they're donating electrons to the red cell membrane. And independent of that, Ningxia Red has the fruit, the wolfberries, which are also antioxidant. So there's like these two antioxidant effects happening. Is that right?
Yeah, so when you say Ningxia Red, when you look at a berry, it has carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and other small molecules. So their antioxidants are small molecules. They are not proteins or fats. So in the Ningxia, in the berry, they have antioxidant molecules that could be essential oils as well. We don't know. But in addition to that, Ningxia Red, the drink has these limonene and all these essential oils. These are essential oils have antioxidant functions, so they can donate electrons, and that these molecules can act as transcription factors. They will stimulate these transcription factors or epigenetic pathways like called NRF2. That pathway, when it's stimulated, is what makes glutathione. Not that the citral oil directly doesn't make glutathione. Glutathione is made in the cells because something stimulates the gene to express it.
So does that mean if you just took citrus oils and put them straight under the tongue, they wouldn't disband the coagulated blood?
I don't know. I haven't tested it, so it's possible. I mean, we don't know how strong it is. We don't know whether it's a combination of the oils in the Ningxia or the mineral essence that causes that. So
you've only tested Ningxia Red and mineral essence that disband the red blood cells. You haven't tested other young living supplements or.
Yes, I used to do live blood about 30 years ago, and we did Valor on the feet.
Okay.
We also noticed Rouleau disappeared using Valor. And someone else that did Darkfield as well back then, they did the same thing because they had trouble believing it. And so Valor did it, and it was just doing a Valor balance.
Does it have a mixture of oils or what
Yes.
is? Okay.
Yes.
I have one. I should try that.
Yeah.
I'll test it.
Can I say something? I don't want to take over, but yes, I use oils all the time and they separate the cells. I think it's not just the antioxidants, which I appreciate you said that, Doctor. It's the frequency as well.
That's a completely different function, frequency. So you can use frequencies. It's still energy. If the energy creates a change, and it can change, because when you use pulse electromagnetic fields, it can change the blood. So not just the electrons. Yeah.
Can I ask, Doctor, what magnification you use?
I'd start with 10 and 4, then switch to 400.
Okay.
Okay, is there any other questions we can ask? How's our time going? It's now 8:01, so we are spot on time. Okay, Sula.
Oh, let Lauren go first because she hasn't had a turn.
All right, didn't see Lauren's hand.
Oh, that's all right. Thanks, Sula. Hi, Dr. Ranga. I just have a
Hi.
question.
Yeah.
Have you had any experience with postpartum clients? I'm 6 months postpartum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at the doctor's today requesting a full blood count for my iron and thyroid, and Ningxia Red has been a staple in preconception, pregnancy, and postpartum. I'm just, wondering, your thoughts around postpartum.
Yeah, because without testing, because I do the dark field microscopy and then other tests, then give me an idea of how this is nutritional status and the blood condition is, and based on that, I do like preconception, then conception, pregnancy, postpartum, all of this whole range of things. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I had another question about, so you said if the blood is coagulated, one, it means that you can't absorb nutrients as well. And I get that because if they're all stuck together, then there's not as much space around the circle for it to absorb. And you said another negative consequence is oxidative stress. Does that just mean that as the blood that's moving through the veins in these big long chains is bumping onto the sides of the veins, that is what you mean by oxidative stress?
No, that can cause inflammation and other issues, stress on the heart because it cannot pump through. Oxidative stress happens on the cell itself when free radicals come and pull out electrons. That's called oxidation, and that causes a stress on the blood because once the red cells lose their electrons, they start to attach to each other. So that clumping, or it's not coagulation, but it's called red cell aggregation, happens because of loss of electrons and the charge changes. So positive and negative charges, then there are other causes as well. It's not only that. So the stickiness of the blood. So once it's like that, then there's called oxidative stress on the blood. And then when that moves through the arteries, capillaries, and veins, it puts a stress on the whole system. So that is also can be called oxidative stress, derived stress on the cardiovascular stress, can cause neurological stress. So starts with that red cell oxidation. That's where the first oxidative stress happens.
And you said the main causes are seed oils and processed food. And you also said heavy metals.
Yeah. Heavy
Which
metals, because seed oils are polyunsaturated fats, they get oxidized very quickly and called lipid peroxides. These are very strong free radicals. They can cause severe damage. So seed oils, processed foods, when there's a lot of food additives, preservatives, and then pesticide residues coming through the food. So many toxic chemicals. And then heavy metals can come from dental amalgams, air pollution. There's too many sources of heavy metals. And one source is like, for example, if you're having canned fish, like tuna, that tuna could have heavy metals, but the canning process itself puts a lot of pressure and temperature on the canning, and that causes oxidation of the omega-3 fatty acids. So when you eat a canned tuna or fish, it could cause oxidative stress on the blood. I've seen that. I had a patient who is a top level CrossFit athlete, and his blood was like a sludge. So when he tested for heavy metals, it was very high heavy metal. So then I asked, what do you eat? And he eats largest size canned tuna, 8 cans a day, as his main protein source. So that's what was causing. So he was still functioning, he was still winning the competitions, but under a lot of stress, the heart has to pump very hard. So once we got rid of all that, his performance improved even, manyfold.
And are there other causes other than heavy metals and seed oils that cause the coagulation?
Yeah, environmental chemicals, pesticides, cosmetic chemicals, there's so many. There's too many to list.
Okay. And distress, would you say stress could cause it or not so much? It's more dietary toxins and environmental toxins.
No, stress can also cause. If you're chronically stressed, then all your other functions go down. Digestion goes down, immune system goes down. So indirectly can cause damage as well.
Can cause the cells to coagulate.
The other thing that I asked on there, Alan, was you were talking about, Dr. Ranga was talking about the fish oils, the omegas, sorry. And I just wanted you to expand a little bit, because I just put in there, that's why our omegas are the best, because they're distilled with, I can't remember, but we've got our own farm, haven't we, where the fish actually comes from now. I can't remember when they changed our omegas over.
Yeah, well, they're using algal oil now, not the fish.
Yeah, not the fish.
Yeah.
In the new ones, okay.
It's still got clove in it, which does make it of the highest grade I believe you can get.
Well, the clove oil stops it from going rancid, as he was talking about the tuna in tin tuna and stuff. That was really interesting, actually. Because, you think you're getting your omegas at it when you're having salmon or tin salmon, or you're having tin, tuna and stuff, but it's already going rancid in there because of the can. That was really interesting, actually, Dr. Ranga saying that.
So I had to get going pretty soon, Alan, so I can show you the pictures and see.
Okay, yep, let's get on to the pictures, because we've now been going an hour 40 minutes. So yep, let's get on to the pictures, and then we'll call it a night.
Okay, let me can you see my screen, or do you have to give
hang on. Should be able to. Multiple screen participants can share. One particular can share at a time. Advanced sharing. Okay. Well, it's one particular can share at a time. So you should be able to do it now.
Okay, let's see screen.
If he's a co-host.
There it is. Yep. There you are. We got you now.
Okay.
Yep. We see you.
So can you see this image? That's a massive protein in the blood. That is actually, all these bright spots and the reddish spots are uric acid. So uric acid is the first defense when heavy metals come into the blood or any oxidizing chemical. Uric acid will bind it and store it in the body. So when it binds and stores and releases back into the blood, the acidity goes up. When the acidity goes up, the body has to compensate by releasing calcium from the bone tissue and magnesium from the muscle. That calcium that goes out will not go back into the bone. It will deposit on joints in the kidneys, arteries, heart, coronary arteries. So the calcification of the coronary arteries It's not because of cholesterol, it's because of this calcium. So many people who have high levels of heavy metals or other oxidative chemicals then have this kind of uric acid. And this is a big problem. So this is how the blood should be. You can see this is a very short video. This is another one that the blood is very aggregated. You can see big clumps on the left corner and the bottom, and then another protein with this acid, uric acid. This is red cell aggregation. You can see cells packing up. This is like medium rouleau. Rouleau meaning stack of coins. And you can see on the left side, there is a cell. Some cells look like there's an inner ring. And that is when hemoglobin gets oxidized. When that happens, oxygen cannot bind. So oxygen levels drop. This is another one. This is very, it's not so clear, but in this, again, you can see the stacking of the coins, of the red cells. That puts a lot of pressure on the heart to pump this blood. And when it passes through, that can cause stress on the arteries and the capillaries. This is a really beautiful blood. See, that's how it should be. I'll do it again. See, you can see how flexible the cell membrane. This is like after taking that things here. This is one of those things. You can see they squeeze through and move. So red cells cannot move by themselves. It's just the fluid is carrying them, but the cell membrane is so negatively charged, they repel each other, and it's very flexible. So it shows the cell membrane is in the best possible state of health. That's all I have at the moment because I didn't get much of a chance to do it. This is a white blood cell. This shows a white blood cell, like a big white one with the black areas. These are the nuclei, the black areas. So that's a very active white blood cell.
Isn't it wonderful?
Here, this one is another one. This is like a big strand of a protein, and inside you can see the small bright crystal. That's uric acid and heavy metal complexes. So when these proteins keep aggregating and creating a large, like a rope-like structure, and you can see the red cells compared to the size of the red cells are the ones that are outside. You can see small circles. That is a massive protein. So imagine this going through your arteries. That is very, very damaging. Okay, so that's all I have.
Is it true, Dr. Ranga, that uric acid is 50% of our antioxidants?
I'm not really sure about the number, but uric acid, normally, gout is caused by uric acid, but uric acid can also be formed because of high fructose. If you're eating lots of fruits and high levels of fructose, or if you're having things that have high fructose corn syrup, like, tomato sauce and all these things that they now add all this high fructose corn syrup is very sweet, that can cause uric acid. Create uric acid. Yeah, this is a new research that they're showing this uric acid is again becoming an inflammation marker.
Yeah, when it was a Dr. Pradip.
I know. The last one is hard. Yeah.
Yeah, the heart doctor, and
Yeah.
he was saying that it was about 50% of our body's antioxidants is uric acid. That stunned me.
I know, it's a very powerful antioxidant.
Yeah, Pradip Jamnadas. Yeah,
that's right. The problem is once the uric acid binds to heavy metals, that the whole area becomes very, very acidic. So the body compensates by releasing calcium. That's why a lot of people start getting these little nodules on the joints. That's the first indicator that this uric acid, the acidity is causing leaching of calcium. So it leads to osteoporosis, osteopenia, osteoporosis, and also osteoarthritis.
Dr. Ranga, do all essential oils have antioxidant functions or just some?
I don't know exactly, because this is something new that I'm getting into. So because after Ningxia, that's when I started looking into the essential oils. So it will be a good thing to check. Yeah, there are certain groups of essential oils that I just saw in a paper. They were comparing a research paper. I don't know all oils would have or not.
According to Gary's research,
Yeah.
Yes, they all have different levels of
Yeah, that's right.
antioxidant. But often it's the citral component of the citrus, which is in Melissa and lemongrass. That's the component that stimulates the NRF2
Yeah.
pathway through the redox into the cell.
Yeah.
Okay. That actually causes it to release the antioxidants, even though it's not a high antioxidant itself.
Yeah.
Like cruciferous vegetables, they're the same, very low antioxidants, but they stimulate the production of glutathione.
Yeah, like broccoli sprouts, like sulforaphane is one
even
of
though
those
they're
things.
not a high antioxidant themselves, but the
That's
body
right.
produces it, and oils are
Yeah.
like that as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why everyone was like obsessed with that. A sea drink at one point. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go with oils any day.
Yeah.
But
Hey, Alan,
oh,
I'm just going to drop out in a minute with my reception, but I just want to say thank you to you and to Dr. Ranga for tonight's call. It's been fantastic information.
I reckon.
Really brilliant. Thanks, Dr. Ranga.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Alan. Thanks,
Thank you
everybody,
very
for
much.
joining. Yeah.
Thank you for
Okay.
your time, and we'll let you
Take
go.
care.
And you take care, and we'll
You too.
do this again sometime.
Okay, thank you. When I did do the test on the spearmint, I'll let you know.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Yep, love to know. All
All
right.
right. Good night.
Good night,
Good
everyone.
night. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.